Grumpy Old Geeks, a weekly talk show hosted by Brian Schulmeister and Jason DeFilippo, discussing the finer points of what went wrong on the internet and who's to blame.
Welcome to Grumpy Old Geeks. I'm Jason DeFilippo.
And I'm Brian Schulmeister, coming to you from the 51st state of the United States of America, Jason.
Woohoo! I was hoping that we were going to be in the Canadian Baja instead. Come on.
A new province. That's the better way to go about it, I think.
Yeah, I'll take that one instead.
Yeah, I think we all would. Anyways, we're back after a slightly longer than expected break. I got the plague over Christmas, and that was not fun. And then luckily it was just myself and my mom. My mom didn't have it too bad. I basically slept 12 hours a day for a couple days in a row. And then we boarded the plane to come home, and I will affectionately call it the plague plane. It was the worst plane I've ever been on in my entire life. And I've been on planes that have been struck by lightning, coughing, hacking. One person a row over and to the right of us puked about 7 times throughout the flight.
Oh, God.
So unsurprisingly, when we landed, within about 6 hours, my wife started coughing.
Oh, of course.
And she has now been sick the entire week. And so far, my son has completely avoided it, but then I woke up this morning with a head cold, so round 2 is coming my way.
Yeah, fun times.
Yeah, but I'm not on fire.
Yeah, I'll trade you. I'll take the sniffles over what we're dealing with any day of the week.
Yeah, I don't blame you. This is the worst it's ever been, so I'm glad to hear so far you're safe and all good.
I just have to say for the record, I hate taking weeks off. I hate taking time off. I get discombobulated for holidays. It drives me insane.
Yes, so I know, because you're always so disappointed when I say we're taking a week off over Christmas.
I am. I'm like, who can I get to sub in? God damn it.
Hey, AI's there, man. Come on. AI Brian.
Yeah, see, we might have to come to that. So it might be AI both of us. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, no, last night I got 3 hours of uninterrupted sleep, but since Monday I've gotten no more than 2 hours of uninterrupted sleep. So I'm a bit of a zombie today. Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting show. I had a million stories in my RSS reader, but could not quite get to. I was sitting there in my bed last night, putting them in, and I fell asleep with my laptop going and just zonked out, just was gone. I woke up a couple hours later and I'm like, we're going to go get a little bit more sleep.
We got plenty. We're good.
Okay. Yeah. Thank God for the Watch Duty app is all I have to say. Mm-hmm. I've talked about that in the past. Last time LA was on fire, which wasn't too long ago, surprisingly. It is by far the best way to watch wildfire info. And thanks to a friend of the show, Brian Blondell, he showed me all the cool features because I'm like, why can't I find an app that just shows me where the wind is blowing? He's like, oh, that's in Watch Duty. Just go hit the layers thing. And I'm like, damn it. That thing's got everything in it. It is a Swiss Army knife of trying to stay alive.
Yes, I also downloaded it and I've been keeping track because obviously I have friends scattered all over Southern California, some of whom, luckily, none of my friends have lost anything as of yet. Quite a few have had to evacuate, but I've been keeping an eye on the app as well. And here's hoping it doesn't citizen on us.
Yeah. Well,
but this one's a nonprofit, so it shouldn't.
It's a nonprofit, and as soon as I get a few bucks, I'm definitely going to send them some.
But I'm sure I'll get an alert if Lady Gaga's house burns down.
I think I already got that alert. It's long gone. Yeah, that's the one thing. The alerts do come fast and furious, which is why I have slept
the fires are fast and furious right now, Jason, so that might explain it.
Yeah. Yesterday there was I think they called it the Kenneth fire.
Yes.
What's the frequency, Kenneth? Watch that one go because that was right by our place too. And it literally went from where I'm at now all the way. It ended in the parking lot, like right behind the parking lot of my old apartment in Malibu Canyon inside of 2 hours. That thing was just like whoosh all the way down the hill. And if anybody says the rich don't get preferential treatment, I would say, fuck you.
Oh, man, I didn't even know private firefighters existed until this fire.
Well, this wasn't even private firefighter. We knew that private firefighters existed before because the Kardashians hired them the last time, and they basically kept Hidden Hills safe. But this time, because I'm right next to the Palisades fire, and they circle my house before they go drop water, and I see it's getting very close, which is very unnerving. But we see all of the helicopters and everything on that one. Well, there's 6 or 7 helicopters flying around there. As soon as a fire breaks out next to Hidden Hills, which is where all of the super rich ding-dongs live, well, most of them, and it started to creep up on that. There was, there were like 10 helicopters within 5 minutes. Right. It was insane how fast they got there. And they stopped it right at the edge, and it kind of went right around it, and then they just let it go straight towards Malibu Canyon. And it was just it was incredible what they did to save those places. Mm-hmm. But it was just everybody was in the right place at the right time. It was the right type of fire. But they're going to find who set that one, because that did not spontaneously erupt.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in human nature when you're just seeing all these videos of people just basically starting fires in LA right now.
Yeah, well, the big news was they arrested a suspect for arson. And it turns out it was about a half mile from my fucking house.
Great.
Yeah, this last guy that they got, I think it was the first guy they got, he was trying to set one a half a mile from my house, which is basically the nightmare, which is why nobody around here slept, because the Santa Ana winds take over the whole city. Yeah. So when the wind starts blowing, any place can catch on fire. It's not just the ones that are on fire. You are worried that one little spark is going to basically take out your neighborhood for days on end. It is
I don't
just
think
pure
people
stress.
understand how fast fire moves, particularly in those winds, or even just an ember can blow for miles and start another fire. Like, it's insane.
Well, and we've got these stupid ass palm trees that are, they're just ember factories. Yeah. And it's just insane. It has been troubling, and it's not over. It's definitely not over, because like I said, the Palisades fire is in the middle of meandering its way through the Santa Monica Mountains right towards us. Right. So you can check out my Instagram if you want to see my drone pictures of how closer it's getting as it goes. I charged it up and took it up yesterday and got a couple shots. And then the wind picked up in the afternoon, and my drone's like, "Hey, can I come down now?" It's like, it's getting a little windy up here.
Yeah, it's no fun up here.
Yeah, come on down. I do know at least I know about 7 people that lost their houses, but Kevin Rose was one of the ones, and he finally posted video of his place. It was pretty sad, because the one thing that's left standing in this big giant pit is his server rack, which when I went over there last time, he was so proud of and showed me that it was like the whole control for his studio, the home automation and everything. And that's all that's left. And it's just like half melted. Right. So that really sucks. But lots and just PCH is just heartbreaking.
Oh,
it's
God. So many places that I used to go to all the time. So many memories. Good friend of mine's first date with his wife was at the Real Inn, which is burned down. I used to stop. The best shrimp tacos in the world were at the Real Inn. Moon Shadows is gone, so we can't memorialize Mel Brooks' sugar tits anymore. It's all sad.
Yep, all the Californication location is gone. That's all that stuff. It's like,
I hope MASH makes it.
Well, they rebuilt it last time, so it. Oh man, no, it's been a week. It's been a week, and it hasn't even been a week. It's been 4 days.
Yeah,
it's the fucked up thing. It feels like it's been a month. Even on the news last night, they're like, in the past week, that's been a day.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, get the Watch Duty app if you want to play along at home.
In the news.
Well, avoiding things fire-related, except metaphorically, we finally have a final chapter to one part of the MoviePass saga. Ex-CEO Ted Farnsworth has pled guilty in federal court to defrauding investors in the subscription service. Surprising nobody, according to the Justice Department, really. Farnsworth and ex-CEO Mitch Lowe were indicted because they falsely claimed that MoviePass's $9.95 unlimited plan was tested, sustainable, and would be profitable or break even on subscription fees alone. They knew that was not true, and it was a temporary marketing gimmick to grow new subscribers and in turn artificially inflate the stock price and attract new investors. In addition, they allegedly also made false and misleading representations about the positive impact that multiple revenue streams other than subscription fees were having on MoviePass profitability and self-sufficiency. Unfortunately, there were no other revenue streams whatsoever that helped offset losses that they experienced from their unlimited plan concept. So Farnsworth's attorney, Sam Rabin, told Variety that it was important for Mr. Farnsworth to accept responsibility for his conduct, and he took the first step by entering a guilty plea this day. He will take the second step, entering jail.
Yeah. We called bullshit on that within 10 seconds when we saw it.
Yeah.
Like everything. They don't even talk about, his harebrained idea to use geolocation data that they were illegally collecting to sell you coupons to places that were in between you and the movie theater for dinner and such like. Remember that scam?
I do. Wasn't that the second CEO? Wasn't that after this guy?
Oh, was that the second?
I don't even remember anymore. I didn't watch the movie. So
yeah, I didn't watch the movie either, but I didn't really pay attention to who was running this at the time. I honestly don't remember anybody's name.
It was just a revolving door of fucking shucksters and snake oil salesmen. That's what it was.
Yeah. I'm really one of the guys across the street from me. I saw on his LinkedIn that he worked there for a little while.
Right.
I want to go ask him about it, but I'm kind of it might be a touchy subject. He might actually have left the country already. Who knows?
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in other news, the UK government is taking new steps to deter the creation of sexually explicit deepfakes. New criminal offenses for producing or sharing sexually explicit deepfakes is on the docket right now. Right now, only sharing deepfakes is currently an offense under UK law, so they're actually going to start to go after the creators now. So I think that's a positive step. But of course, they say tech companies need to step up too. Platforms hosting this content will face tougher scrutiny and significant penalties. Yeah,
no, they won't.
Well,
no,
we'll talk about the tech companies policing themselves in a few minutes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and they're not actually talking about either is that tech companies aren't the ones that are going to be creating this stuff. It's the people at home with the open source versions.
Yes.
That's where the stuff is made. This stuff's not made on a quote unquote platform anymore. It's made on the PC in the basement,
Yep. But you got to stop the distribution.
Yeah,
theoretically.
Theoretically. Take down 4chan.
Well, Meta has added the UFC CEO Dana White to the board. Yes, it appears you can beat your wife and still get on the biggest board in the country.
Well, you can rape somebody and get the highest seat in the country, so why not?
Fair enough. That is true.
Yeah.
So this is all part of Mark Zuckerberg's current pivot, which is to kiss Trump's ass, and this is definitely one of the moves to do it. This is not a typical member on the board. He has basically zero knowledge of the tech industry. That's not what he does. The two members Meta is adding alongside White, John Elkin and Charlie Songhurst, fit the social media company's usual bill. So he's a bit of an outlier here. That is basically just a Trump thing. So good times. Yes, and he's also visited Mar-a-Lago, but very documented. And we'll get to the other bits that he's doing to make Trump happy in a few minutes.
Yeah. No, somebody should send Zuckerberg a case of Burt's Bees because his lips are going to get so chapped from kissing that ass. It's ridiculous.
One of the best things that I saw, and of course, it's AI generated, so I have mixed feelings about this, but it was Zuckerberg, it was Amazon guy Bezos, and I think the Google guy, all three down on their knees, mouths open, and their tongues were orange.
There you go.
Yep. So there you go.
Yeah, that's about it. And Nick Clegg is gone.
Yeah, Nick Clegg. Sorry to see him go. Not really.
No, not really.
But I'm sure they're replacing him with somebody worse. See, that's the next 4 years for us, Jason. Somebody's going to lose their job and we're going to go, oh, good, he was a horrible person. And then a more horrible person will be put into their place.
Yeah, Nick is being replaced by Joel Kaplan, Meta's most prominent Republican executive. So
there you go.
Yeah, see? And since Dana White has been announced as being part of the board, apparently there's a lot of internal dissent going on right now, and of course, they can't figure out how to. Yeah, they can't figure out how to do censorship on their public-facing platform, which we'll talk about in about 2 minutes. But they sure as shit can figure it out internally. So, yeah, they're knocking down people who are criticizing what's happening inside the company.
Yep.
So, yeah.
As you should be doing if you're there.
Yeah.
But,
it's kind of the same. They have the same tools internally like Zuckerberg had when he could delete his messages, but nobody else could.
Yes.
Remember that we were supposed to still getting? Did we ever get those? I don't know. I left Facebook so long ago. I didn't do any fact checking on that.
You can delete your messages, but are they really deleted?
Are they really
That's
deleted?
Always the question. So, yeah.
Visibility set to 0.
We got to make that T-shirt. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Anyways, Meta. Speaking of Meta, their smart glasses have had their first big cultural moment. Jason, you think, yay, we're getting some publicity. Somebody used these publicly, and everybody noticed. Unfortunately, it was a terrorist doing a terror attack.
Terror's going to terror.
Terror's going to terror. So on Sunday, the FBI released footage from Shamsuddin Jabbar's Meta glasses, and he is the guy that drove a rented Ford F-150 into a crowd of people on New Year's Day in New Orleans. He brought IEDs, but they didn't go off, and he died in a shootout with police. Apparently, we found out that he planned it all with a stylish pair of Ray-Bans kitted out with Meta cameras.
Woo!
The FBI provided footage and it's almost 4 minutes long and has no sound. It's 5 different clips from multiple sources. Only the first 2 come from his glasses, but he's basically staking out the location, riding through the French Quarter on a bicycle on Halloween and capturing it all. And then he stared into a mirror, the Ray-Bans capturing his sweaty face, and one just wonders if he said, "Are you talking to me?"
Yeah. Yeah, this is what it's come to. See, if he was wearing Google glasses, we would have caught him ahead of time.
Yeah, but
these Ray-Bans.
But that's why he did it. That's exactly why Zuckerberg did it. So Ray-Bans is one of the most iconic and ubiquitous sunglasses brands in the world. Its Wayfarer is so popular that it's inspired countless knockoffs. And of course, if you put your cameras into those, nobody's really going to notice. So,
yeah, that's kind of it. And to continue with the terrorists and technology theme, Matthew Livelsberger, who was trying to be a comedian by setting his Tesla Cybertruck on fire outside of the Trump Hotel in Vegas,
kind of funny, though, to be honest.
I mean, it set
joke.
the tone for 2025.
Sure did.
He was a smart when he checked out early. But he was using ChatGPT to plan his attack.
Oh, but great. Thank God there's guardrails on all this stuff, Jason.
I know. Yeah. But to be honest, using ChatGPT is just like Googling something nowadays. So,
well, it's exactly like Googling something these days, unless you turn that shit off on Google.
Yeah. Actually, it's better than Googling something because Gemini sucks.
Yeah.
But I have a better use for AI, a very better. Let's just get out of this dystopian use of AI for a second, Brian, and let's talk about the jobs that we're going to need. Because there was another article that I have to dig up and put in the show notes. About 450,000 jobs are on the line for the next year. Just because of AI, minimum 450,000 are going out. So
remember when they told us it was going to create jobs, Jason?
That's right. It is going to free us up to do the things that humans are meant to do.
Yes. Unfortunately, nobody mentioned getting paid for stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Finger painting, not going to pay the bills. That's so a gentleman from Reddit wrote a bot that would basically apply to jobs while he slept. Nice. So he would look at the job posting and then use AI to create a resume that catered to that job posting and send it off for him. So he applied for 1,000 jobs while he was asleep, and he got 50 interviews.
Okay.
From other AIs who were checking the resumes. So that's where, the Ouroboros is alive and well. And it is hungry. It is hungry.
This guy should sell that algorithm.
He really should. He really should. I think it's not LinkedIn. What's the new job board? Indeed. Yes. Indeed. He should sell it to Indeed. Is Monster still around? Are they still a thing?
I don't know. Ironically, I should be looking for a job and I should know these things, but yeah.
Yeah. I think the jobs that we're looking for nowadays, Brian, are probably on farmersonly.com because we're going to be planting seeds and trying to make food.
It's not actually a bad way of life, Jason.
No, it's not. It's not. Better use for AI, though, could be reviving good old Adolf. Don't call him Hitler. An NBC investigation has revealed that Meta's AI studio, which allows users to create chatbots for platforms like Instagram, Facebook Messenger, and WhatsApp, has been hosting bots modeled after Adolf Hitler. Don't call him Hitler. It's Hitler. Adolf Hitler.
That's don't call it a Reichback.
Which does violate the company's policies. Meta claims its AI studio guidelines prohibit impersonations of notorious figures such as mass murderers or hate group leaders, and pledges to review bots before publication. However, lapses in enforcement have allowed problematic bots, including one styled after religious figures, celebrities, fictional characters, and Donald Trump, to proliferate. Meta stated the offending bots have been removed and detection measures are improving. So, there we go.
You know what else Meta stated?
What have they stated, Brian?
We're done with fact checking in moderation.
Yes, that's right.
So that fits right in with the fact that they're going to police these bots, doesn't it?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they're
Right
done
up
doing
there.
that. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is nixing Facebook's fact checkers and replacing them with community notes, a feature that works oh so well on Elon Musk's X platform, where users highlight posts they deem misleading or needing more context. The shift away from the existing system of fact checking, which is widely panned by Donald Trump and others known for spreading false claims, is yet another sign that Zuckerberg is positioning himself to earn the president-elect's butt juice. So this will also apply to Instagram and Threads. So that basically, at least in the US, there are conflicting reports about what's going to happen elsewhere because they don't have a neo-fascist baby fuck in charge. So we'll see what happens. And they still, have rules and legislation and laws that they care about. So, but in the US, they're giving up on any fact checking whatsoever. They're going back to their roots and focusing on reducing. Wait, hold on. Your roots was hot or not, you fuck?
I know. Every time I hear somebody say that, they quote that line, I'm like, you do know how this fucking thing started, right? Facebook started as a hot or not clone.
Yep.
It's not. Yeah, he was not trying to bring all of humanity together in some fucking utopia. No, he was trying to find out if the chick down the hall was bangable. That's all he was trying to figure out.
Yep, pretty much. So, yeah, this is purely just to appease Trump. We all know that, outside of the fact that they just paid lip service to moderation anyways. They didn't really throw enough money or anything at it and never really bothered that well. But he's saying that fact checkers are too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created. Yeah. I think we're basically all done with Facebook at this point. So, yeah. But the problem is, of course, Threads is stupid anyways because they can't do a timely algorithm. So it's useless and people have kind of died over there, regardless of how many people are signed up because they have Meta accounts. Nobody's posting. But Instagram, I'm a little bit sad about, but there you go.
It's interesting. There's a new episode of Darknet Diaries called Bike Index. It's episode 153. Mm-hmm. And it talks about this ring of bike thieves that are operating out of Mexico on Facebook. And they can't get them shut down no matter what they do. It's one of those things like they'll shut the moderation that was in place was shutting down all the wrong things. But when you have actual criminal activity with actual proof, they can't get it shut down no matter what. And Jack Rosado was even asking people inside of Meta and Facebook, what can we do about this? They're like, there's nothing you can do, man. It's just the way it is.
Right.
So, you can't get visibility set to 0, but sanity set to 0 is absolutely on point. Mm-hmm. And I think the best headline came from Futurism. Zuckerberg announces new measures to increase hate speech on Facebook. Bingo. That's it. And of course, according to Google Trends, related searches like how to delete all photos from Facebook, alternative to Facebook, and how to quit Facebook, how to delete Threads account, and how to delete Instagram account without logging in have become breakout searches with popularity suddenly increasing by over 5,000% compared to previous periods. And I'm like, seriously, this is what it took for you to delete Facebook after all of the other shit? Apparently. Come on. Yeah, and all the fact-checking partners say that they were blindsided by the decision that they were going to be fired and moved to Texas, as it were, because now they said, we're going to move some of our fact-checkers to Texas for that, because, that's where everybody goes. Let's go to Texas.
Yep.
It's insane what's happening right now. I just... I half of me thought it was the fact that I have had no sleep in a week, or however long it's been, I don't know. But it's getting to the point of, it's not idiocracy. It's beyond ludicrous.
Well, it's funny. Ludicrous. Like I was talking with some friends and they were like, well, do you really think this next 4 years of Trump is going to be worse? I mean, it's just going to be the same thing. I'm like, no, it's going to be 1,000 times worse. We're 10 days into January. He's not even president yet. He's not even president yet. And we're fucking starting wars for Greenland. We're going to annex Canada. We're renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. What the fuck? I'm not going to be able to do this 4 years. I'm just not.
On the final episode of Grumpy Old Geeks, where Brian just says, fuck it, I'm going to go plant a watermelon. I'm along for the ride. I just want to see what happens at this point.
Right.
But I was getting the other thing about social media right now is because of the fire. You know, when the fires break out, just the idiocy on social media is beyond belief.
I don't know if you went on X at all when the fires broke out, but Jesus fucking Christ.
I didn't have to. People are sending me videos of people that people put on X, and I'm just like, I'm like, I had to stop myself. I had to explain one video and a couple other videos to people, and I'm like, I stopped. I'm like, we're back to that point. Remember when the internet first just started and your parents got on and they started sending you emails about every stupid thing that you've ever seen on the planet?
Yes.
We're back to that, except it's the normal people who,
and it's politically weaponized.
That's the thing. It's just like nobody fucking thinks anymore.
It's like, not about Sasquatches and the Loch Ness Monster being real anymore. Now it's about fucking Gavin Newsom is the devil who caused all the fires.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. Like, I don't like Gavin Newsom, but he didn't cause the damn fires.
Exactly. I mean, I am not a fan of the guy, but he didn't come down here with a fucking wind machine and a lighter and say, here you go, LA, fuck you.
Yep.
LA burned before he was here. LA will burn after he was here.
LA burned when Reagan was in charge.
Exactly. The only thing that's going to change how LA is going to burn are like the fucking local municipalities who do the right thing. And I'm not even going to get into it.
Anyways,
but anyway,
moving on.
Stop me. Stop me.
Shitty tech news. Let's go back to that.
Shitty tech news. Okay. Let's talk about Texas again, because guess who moved to Texas?
I don't
Elon
give a shit.
and Tesla.
Fuck that place.
Well, the feds are investigating Tesla's actual smart summon feature.
Let me guess. It doesn't do what it says?
No, it doesn't actually do what it says.
Shocking for that company. I hope they put out a car call and just call it the flying car at this point. Fuck it. Go for it, Elon. Just call it the flying car.
Actually flying car. Look at it fly. Woo!
If you go over a bump, it flies for a second.
If you go from a bump really fast.
We're going to call it the date. What did they call the fucking car in the Dukes of Hazzard? God damn it.
The General Lee.
There we go. The General Lee by Tesla. The flying car.
I've seen many General Lee Cybertrucks already. I don't know if you have. Yeah.
Yep. Shocking.
He's painted. Yeah. Big surprise on that one.
No, I just saw the painted completely gold one. Did you see the picture I posted of that?
Yeah, I've actually seen one of those in person. Dude, the customizations that are going on with the Cybertrucks around Southern California is insane.
It's like, how can I be an even bigger douche than just having one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it turns out they've only made 27,000 of the things, and they're slowing production down because nobody else wants them.
Yeah.
So
sold out to all the douches. Done.
Yeah. I was watching a video this morning of a Cybertruck in Canada who couldn't get out of a parking spot because there was like 1.5 inches of snow on the ground.
Yep.
That was great. So anyway, the feds are investigating actual smart summon. So because, there was a crash and
something didn't smartly summon.
It's called actual smart summon, and it's a Tesla. We know it's actually not smart summon. Because, just like actual fully self-driving is not.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now OpenAI is on the warpath because they've cut off a developer who built a device using ChatGPT to aim and fire an automated rifle. That's right.
I watched the video, and it was fucking terrifying.
Wasn't it, though?
Yep.
Wasn't it terrifying? But did you watch it all the way to the end?
I did.
Did you watch the guy sitting on top of the gun?
Yes, I did.
Did you not get a chuckle out of that?
Kind of.
Yeah. I've never seen Dr. Strangelove, but I've seen the one picture of him riding the nuclear bomb. And that's all I could think of was watching this guy on his mechanical bull of a fucking automatic weapon controlled by generative AI.
That still was my Facebook profile background picture for a long time about, the first 4 years that Trump was in office. And I feel like I need to bring it back.
I think we have a new one. I think we have a replacement now.
That's true.
Yeah. A little bit more AI news. Getty Images and Shutterstock announced plans to merge, forming a $3.7 billion stock image giant designed to thrive in the AI era. So they're trying to merge so they can, wait for it, sell all the images that everybody else took to AI training companies, thus defeating the purpose of having a stock image company to begin with.
Yep.
This is
they just need a tagline like, look, we've got 5 fingers.
Yeah, that's it. And this is such an antitrust violation. It's beyond belief, but it's going to go through.
Of course it's going to go through. Of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that lives on and stock photography anymore is just like, it's a dead industry anyway. That's why they're trying to squeeze the last lifeblood out of it that they can get. Yeah. That's it. That's all there is to it, because generative AI is already good enough for 99% of the things, and then your phone is good enough for the rest. So what are you going to do?
Yep.
Well, you can use AI to go shopping, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, AI chatbots played a major role in driving online sales during the 2024 holiday season, according to Salesforce.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, U.S. e-commerce sales grew nearly 4% year over year, reaching $282 billion between November 1st and December 31st. Global AI-influenced sales climbed to $229 billion, up from $199 billion in 2023. Mm-hmm. Now, shoppers used AI-based chatbot services 42% more than last year, as retailers leveraged these tools alongside targeted promotions and loyalty programs. Mobile devices were the go-to for last-minute purchases, with 79% of orders placed via smartphones. They said, "Hey, ChatGPT, I'm fucked. Order something for my wife." However, high return rates, 28% compared to 20% in 2023, raised concerns about profit margins. Salesforce's Kalia Schwartz noted that AI tools will be critical in minimizing losses and reconnecting with customers in 2025. Critical in minimizing losses that they created.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like, hey, boss, we lose $1 on every unit we sell. Yeah, Joe, but we're going to make it up in volume. That's how it's going to go.
There you go.
Hey, Grumpy Old Geek fans. Today I've got something for you Apple users, the Mac Geek Gab podcast. This show is in its 17th year of providing tips, cool stuff found, and answers to your questions about anything and everything Apple. That's right, hosts Dave Hamilton and John F. Braun take time each week to actually provide tech support to as many listeners as possible while learning at least 5 new things themselves. The great part is that they always make sure each answer has actionable tips with easy instructions for listeners too. For example, if you press and hold the mute button during a call on your iPhone, it will put that call on hold. And you can turn on Do Not Disturb on your iPhone by swiping down into the control center and simply tapping that little moon icon in the focus section. If you have an iPhone, a Mac, an iPad, an Apple Watch, an Apple TV, or are simply a technology enthusiast, you're going to love learning more about your technology with your 2 new favorite geeks over at Mac Geek Gab. Get your questions answered and have some fun along the way. Visit MacGeekGab.com or search for Mac Geek Gab on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't get caught without having Mac Geek Gab in your rotation.
Most weight loss plans are one size fits all, not taking into account each person's individual needs. Noom, on the other hand, is built for your psychology and your biology, meeting you where you are. Noom Weight uses psychology, and that's why they say losing weight starts with your brain. But it also takes into account your unique biological factors, which also affect weight loss success. The program helps you understand the science behind your eating choices and why you have cravings. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com.
Media Candy.
Brian, over the break, Silo has been going strong. Are you caught up with the penultimate episode?
I am all caught up. I'm ready for next week's season finale. Good show. Consistently good.
Yeah, I think I have to watch last night's again because I was in a sleep-deprived daze, and it seemed like it was a little discombobulated to me. Or maybe just the acting of the children was bad. I don't know what it was. But I think it didn't quite land.
It throws you for a bit of a loop because it's a whole new element that wasn't there before. You thought you knew all the pieces on the chessboard, and then there all of a sudden were some new pieces.
Yeah, pieces I could have done without.
Right.
But
fleshed out more in the book.
Yeah. It was rushed. I think it was definitely rushed. They could have evened that out a little bit more throughout the season, I think. But anyway, still a good show.
Agreed.
Rebecca Ferguson is on TV, so I'm a happy man.
Me too.
Yep. Traders UK is in full swing. Episode 5 was yesterday. Episode 6 is today. Episode 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know how many. I've lost count at this point, but it's a solid season so far. I'm really digging it. So if you're in the UK, I hope you're enjoying it. And if you're anywhere else, Sweden is an option. Just saying. Dexter Original Sin. I've been watching that over the break.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Really?
I love it. I think it's great. It has all the feels of the original Dexter because it basically is the original Dexter with a new cast. Mm-hmm. You still get the voiceover from
Hall.
What's his name? Yeah. I keep wanting to call him Anthony Michael Hall. I'm like, no, that's not.
No.
Wrong dude. Michael C. Hall. That's it.
He hit me in the balls, Chet.
But I can't deny it. I love seeing Christian Slater on screen again. You know. Mm-hmm. He's I feel like he's one of my bros. So all in all, the cast is great. I think it's a good show. It's got the same amount of cheese as the original that I forgot was there. Yeah. You know, you go back and watch the original, it's like it wasn't that good of a show to begin with.
It was kind of funny. It was funny. It was cheesy. It was weird. But it was good. You know, not great, but I mean, all those elements together and it was such an original concept. And the opening sequence of the original Dexter still goes down as one of my favorite opening sequences of any show of all time.
Yeah, they do a really good job recreating it for the new one too.
That's cool.
It's good. I think you got to check it out. I think as an OG Dexter fan, I think you'll like it a lot.
Excellent. I'll have to do it. I still never watched the reboot thing with the original Hall. Where you
don't have to.
Good. Okay, I'll skip that.
This one starts where that one ends, and there's a little bit of crossover there. It's all you actually need from that miniseries that they put out, which I will not watch. It was not good.
Well, over the break, Shrinking aired their final episodes of season 2, and still love the show. Got a lot of feels out of it, but I think one more season should be it for them.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
Still good though. And then I was kind of scrolling about on Netflix, and there's a show I completely forgot about that I loved, which is Sex Education, which has Gillian Anderson. I watched all of the first 3 seasons religiously. I knew a 4th season came out a while back, and then promptly, completely, utterly forgot about it. So I've got that queued up to watch when things like Silo and all the other shows that we're watching right now end, and we're in a bit of a desert. So I'm looking forward to that. Another show.
Is this the final season?
Yes, the 4th and final. Okay. It ended. So it ended a while back, and I just never went back to go see the 4th season. So
let me know how they land the plane on that one.
I will do so. And then I also was taking in your advice. You said I should go watch The Vampire Diaries, which is on Netflix for a little period of time. And then I zigged instead of zagging, Jason. Rather than watching the Anne Rice Vampire Chronicles series, I ran into the Mayfair Witches Anne Rice series, which stars Alexander Daddario, and that was all I needed to make me watch that one first. I watched the first episode, and it was very good.
I did not like the first episode. I unfollowed after that, but
it's all set up, and I read the book, so I know what's coming. That helps.
Yeah. Which is surprisingly why I can't finish watching Interview with the Vampire. The next, I can't continue watching them anymore because I've read the books and I've kind of read the books and I've seen the shows and I've read the comics and I know the story so well that I don't care to watch it again. That's the problem. It's extraordinarily well done. I love how well done it is. I just don't care.
Right.
That's the problem.
And over the break, I watched Kunk on Life. Now, I reviewed Kunk on Earth a while back. It's a fake, documentary, a mockumentary. Very funny. Kunk on Earth was split into 5 episodes, bite-sized chunks, which was perfect for the format. Kunk on Life is a movie. It is 1 hour and 11 minutes long, and it's way too much in one chunk. It becomes less funny because it just keeps going on and you don't get a break from it. But
that's what you said about the first series. You're like, don't watch these back to back because it doesn't work.
Yeah. So inexplicably, they decided to put it into a movie instead of a couple different episodes with this one. So if you're going to watch Kunk on Life, and I recommend you do so, I would watch it in like 20-minute chunks. Watch about 20 minutes, take a break.
Take a break.
Come back to it in a week, watch another 20 minutes.
You know what's interesting? The big news about Netflix right now, too, is that there are internal documents that have been leaked about how they're trying to make their producers of the shows that they buy dumb down the shows.
Yep.
Because people are spending so much time watching while they're on their phones.
Yep.
And it's getting all this backlash. And I'm just like, well, what the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Yep.
I mean,
you got to cater to the common denominator. You can't go highbrow. You're not going to make any money that way.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed it. I've definitely noticed it. It's like, it's the stuff that comes out is just god awful.
Yeah,
but
it's getting dumber and dumber.
Yeah, and it's by mandate. That's the really annoying part. It's like they want it to be that dumb. Like, oh, that sucks.
It's by design.
Yeah, yes. It is by design.
And I've got some completely sober on a plane movie reviews. I watched one movie going out and one movie coming back. Tetris, I finally got around to watching. That was not dumbed down, Jason. That was very good.
Okay. I watched the first like 10 minutes of it and couldn't get hooked. But because I know the story, but
yeah, it's really well done. I highly recommend watching it. And I was kind of desperate. There wasn't a lot of options. And I saw a movie called Please Don't Destroy, The Treasure of Foggy Mountain. And apparently this was made by a couple current Saturday Night Live cast members. And it's supposed to try to be a throwback to the irreverent 80s movies that we grew up on, Jason.
I was going to say, does this have anything to do with like Return to Witch Mountain or something like that?
It's an attempt to be silly and weird, and it kind of fails miserably.
Okay.
It has moments that were genuinely funny, but the entire movie as a whole is dumb as fuck.
They must have got the mandate from Netflix.
Should have been on Netflix instead of Apple TV, apparently.
I was going to say, how'd they end up on Apple? Yeah. Usually have better filters. Although Severance is coming back, so you can't. It's getting shoved down your throat.
Oh my god! I can't watch anything without seeing an image of that guy from Severance, and I'm just I tried to watch it. I don't like it. Leave me alone. You are the Red Hot Chili Peppers of TV for me.
Kind of, yeah. I watched the whole thing, and I still don't want to watch the second season. But it's like it immediately, right after Silo ended, it just like boom, right into it. And I'm just, no, stop, go away.
Ups and doodads.
Now, Brian, there's been a lot of backlash to DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub and all of these, delivery apps from restaurants.
Yep.
And
how they screw the consumer and the restaurant.
And yeah, everybody gets screwed. And I was really disheartened when my beloved Paquito Mas moved from DoorDash to Uber Eats.
God, I miss Paquito Mas.
Oh, I do too. Because I stopped ordering from them because they moved to Uber Eats, which raised my bill, which was already exorbitant getting it from DoorDash, by another $7 for no reason whatsoever.
For a burrito.
A burrito and a tostada salad and some horchata and some salsa and some extra chips and some guac and some pico. And
okay, you need to shut the fuck up right now because I can't have that anytime soon.
I know what I'm having for lunch.
Fuck you.
Well,
enjoy your $87 taco.
I'm going to go pick it up on my way home. So they partnered with a company called Chow Now, which is 100% commission free, no hidden fees. And it is software as a service for restaurants. Basically, the restaurant sources everything. It goes straight to their POS system. I think they handle the delivery drivers. And here's the funny part. I went and I looked at an order, how much because they still have the option to order with Uber Eats. So I could go side by side and look at the menu price difference.
Right.
There was a $5 difference for a side of chips.
Right.
I was like, what? It's like $1.99 if you get it through the official Paquito Mas app, which is also the upside, is now they have their own dedicated app, which makes it so much easier. I just press the app button when I feel like Mexican now. I just really hope that this company becomes a thing and other restaurants go with it and then cut out the Ubers altogether.
Would be nice.
Yeah, I know my friend who was driving for Uber Eats has already quit. She's just like, there's no money anymore. It's a mess because all the subsidies have changed, and then the laws in California changed, and all this other stuff. And it's just like she's just like, she went and got a job at Target, literally. So it's what you got to do nowadays. So, but I'm really happy that they checked it out. So if you know friends with a restaurant who are sick of DoorDash or Uber Eats and paying fealty to those fuckers, have them check out Chow Now. The link is in the show notes. We get nothing out of that, just except a smile on our face and some more Paquito Mas. Yeah, cheaper Paquito Mas. Now, Apple has promised the new software update will address Apple Intelligence notification summary complaints.
You know the best way to do that? Get rid of it.
Turn it off. Exactly. Set it to 0.
Yes.
So, yeah, they say it's there. It's on 18.3. I just got the 18.3 beta last night, so I have not had a chance to try it. But at least they recognize the fact that it sucks. That is a step in the right direction.
Step number 1, yes.
Yes. So we're very happy about that, Apple. Thank you for doing the right thing.
Well, boop, 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 boop. TiVo is back, baby. Sort of.
I love TiVo.
I miss TiVo too. It was the best thing ever. Xperi, the owner of the TiVo brand as of 2019, I wonder if they're also going to pick up Radio Shack while they're at it, announced at CES 2025 that TiVo OS will be available in the US for the first time on Sharp TVs. The storied TV brand was last seen stateside as the TiVo Stream 4K, a $50 streaming dongle. Now, this is not, of course, the TiVo of old. I don't entirely understand what exactly it is. It's aggregating content from streaming services, linear TV channels, and sports packages, and gives users access to a vast library of free and paid content. So basically, it's the same shit you can get anywhere else.
So it sounds like Roku to me.
Yeah, kind of. So I think they're trying to do that. And they're banking on the fact that TiVo is a known brand for people that are old.
Yeah. It was great. I mean, but you want a box with a hard drive in it. That's what makes TiVo.
That's what made it great. We could record everything and then watch it whenever we wanted to, and then fast forward through the commercials. And nobody did that at the time, and it made the nice noises.
Yeah, beep, beep, boop, beep, boop. And it was fast.
We all remember that.
Fucking fast. Yeah, yes. I know. It was satisfying. Using your TiVo was just fucking satisfying.
It was. It really was. So, but will I be using an OS on a dongle? No, I will not. So.
And I will not be buying a Sharp TV. I didn't even know Sharp still made TVs. Out of all the TV brands that I've seen that are everywhere that I look, Sharp is never on the list. So
Nope. No. And I want to announce, Jason, that I have officially rejoined the cult of Nintendo. Yes, the last time I ever played a game, it was one of the original Mario Brothers games where they were running around and hitting things for coins. My son, he got him Nintendo Switch for Christmas. And we immediately went and purchased Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is basically an update of the original version. And I love fucking playing it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, so here, you and Nintendo hardware is like me and Apple hardware. As soon as you buy it, the next one's going to come out because the Switch 2 is going to be here soon.
Yeah, they've been saying that. And we were like, do we hold off? But like all of his friends have one. So whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the latest and greatest. He's fucking 8 years old. He can enjoy Switch 1 for a couple of years.
My parents only got me the Switch 1. They hate me.
Look, I didn't get an Atari 2600 right away. I got an Odyssey 2600. Nobody even knows what that is.
Oh, I know what that is. That was actually that was kind of coveted amongst some of the gamers in my neck.
Well, it was the beta to the VHS. It was probably better, but none of the games were on it.
That's exactly it. It had a better. Didn't it have the little bubble console with like the little 8 things that you could press and the little joystick at the top?
I kind of remember that. Yeah. It's been a long time. So
yeah, they would wear out and people didn't know. Yeah. No, only the rich kids in the neighborhood had those.
We were not rich, but that's what I had. I'm sure my dad got a deal somewhere.
Yeah. Probably got a hand me down.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, well, congratulations. Congratulations on becoming a gamer, Brian.
Yeah. One game.
That's all it takes. It's a gateway.
At the library.
Helen wrote in and said, "Hey guys, I want to get into reading ebooks. What device should I use/buy? Thanks. Love your show." Well, it kind of depends on what you like reading on. If you don't mind having like a full-on device, I personally use the Kindle app on my iPad, and it's great. A lot of people swear by Kindles because it's just black and white, and you can't get distracted. So it depends on the kind of reader you are. If you can read without switching over to your social media streams every 5 minutes, like I can, then I love using the Kindle app on my iPad.
Yeah, and if you want an actual device. And that reminds me, by the way, you were supposed to buy one of my Kindles while you were here in town. Damn it. And you didn't. I had the thing sitting. I charged it up even. Damn you.
Well, summer's coming, Jason. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's probably going to be a molten pile of plastic by then. Should have got it while the getting's good.
Make sure you take a picture of it so you can claim it on insurance. Oh, wait, no fire insurance anymore.
Yeah, well, I have renter's insurance, so I'm set. Yeah, I like them both. Honestly, I just find the Kindle a little too slow to change pages, and that's just me. I don't know, because when you've got several hundred books in your library, trying to find something is painfully slow. I don't know how I've got the two Kindle Paperwhites, the same ones. That's why I'm selling you one of them. And they're great little devices. They're perfect size. They're kind of the same size as an iPad mini. And I think it's great when you just want to do that. But I generally stick to the Kindle app, because it syncs between all three. It depends on which device is closest to the crapper that I grab. So it's nice to have them all in sync. But I end up using my iPad mini the most. I think that's the one I use the most because it's the most comfortable to read on for the size, personally. So iPad mini.
Yep.
Finished 3 Ezekiel by Peter Caldron.
Mm-hmm.
Great book.
Right?
Great book.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was really satisfying. Surprisingly satisfying ending.
They're short and sweet. I think we have to invent a new category for these books, Jason. Elevated shitter sci-fi.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I just think they're good sci-fi. I didn't even think they were. I just happened to read on the shitter, but it's the only time I have to myself.
Somebody on Discord asked if it started off that way, and it did. That's that. Like I was just looking for like a quick, easy, crappy sci-fi book, and the first book of his I read was that way. But I agree with you, Jason. It's not shitter sci-fi. It's good sci-fi. I know.
Yeah.
Somebody else on our Discord said no, but screw you. You're wrong.
Well, yeah. So last year I did some daily readers, those, one page a day books. I read the Daily Pressfield by Stephen Pressfield, which is a good book on writing. Read A Calendar of Wisdom, Daily Thoughts to Nourish the Soul by Leo Tolstoy. The Daily Laws, 366 Meditations on Power, Seduction, Mastery, Strategy, and Human Nature by Robert Greene. And The Daily Stoic, 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday.
Was it a leap year last year?
Yes, it was. That's why there's 366. Okay. It works out really well.
Yeah, makes sense now.
Yeah, some of these people really kind of hit it. Now, this year, this one did not hit the mark. 365 Tao Daily Meditations. Yeah, I'm going to be shortchanged today. I have to read one twice.
Yes, but it's more. No, it's not another leap year.
It's not. No, actually, yeah, that's right. So
the Daily Drucker is the one that's wrong.
Yeah, the Daily Drucker, 366 Days of Insight and Motivation for Getting the Right Things Done by Peter F. Drucker. And Around the Year.
Well, he didn't get the right thing done there, did he?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Good thing he's dead or I'd file a complaint. Around the Year with Emmett Fox, a book of daily readings by, guess it, Emmett Fox. And The Maxwell Daily Reader, 365 Days of Insight to Develop the Leader Within You and Influence Those Around You by John C. Maxwell. Those are the daily readers that I got for this year because I like to balance it with, some spiritual stuff, some practical stuff, and some stuff that I just don't like.
Now, I have to ask a question here, Jason. Are these digital, or do you have like these just like 365 page small stacks of paper all around your desk right now?
Kindle on the Kindle app all the way.
There you go. I'd rather see it physical. I just want to see them all lined up on your desk.
That would be great. Yeah. That would be great. I actually bought my dad a physical copy of the Daily Stoic because he's read that like for 5 years in a row. I got him a nice leather bound version of that one. So he has that one.
Okay.
But yeah, the daily readers, no, I thought about it, honestly, but I'm like, no.
Never. In case there was a COVID panic, you wouldn't run out of toilet paper.
That's true. But this, I don't know if I'm as big a fan of this crew as last year. All 4 of those books that I read last year were phenomenal.
Right.
The Daily Drucker makes me mad, which is kind of the purpose of it. Emmett Fox is a little too Jesus-y. But maybe, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. He's a kind of one of those spiritual leaders that are big in recovery programs. So I thought I'd give him a shot. I'd never heard of John C. Maxwell. He is the most balanced of the business leaders and has actually got some really good things to say. So I'm liking that one the most. And the 365 Tao Daily Meditations, those are good. They're decent. Right. So I may, if anybody has any recommendations on daily readers, hit me up. I can always catch up.
Right.
I think I got the Daily Pressfield in April last year and caught up with that one. And that was a really good one. I'm also reading the book, The Elements of Humor, The Tools of Comedy That Make You Funnier, Happier, and Better Looking by Scott Dikkers. It's his new book. That's just an actual book that I'm reading. And so far, so good. I like Scott Dikkers' books. So yeah, that's where I'm at on the daily reading and the book stuff. You have something in here that I also started, but I'll let you take this one away, Brian.
I have not started or read it yet. I just wanted to point out that as of January 7th, we have the latest book in the Laundry Files by Charlie Strauss, A Conventional Boy, a Laundry Files novel, number 13. And of course, it does not go back to my favorite characters because he said he was done with them. So I don't know if I'll read it or not. Didn't read the last one either. We'll see.
So far, I'm halfway through it. I don't know if I'm going to finish it.
Right.
The problem with this one is the main character and basically the entire book, as far as I can tell, is based around Dungeons and Dragons. I never played Dungeons and Dragons. I never wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons. I liked hanging out with my friends who played Dungeons and Dragons because they were a certain type of people that I really got along with. But for me, I just never got into the game. So there's a lot of in-jokes and things with Dungeons and Dragons in this one. So
yes, also does not sound like something for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I did love the first 10 books, but
I even like the last one. I had no problem with the last one. I quite enjoyed the last one. This one is so heavily steeped into D&D, which if you're a fan of the Laundry Files, tracks, because that's what the whole premise is about, how mathematics and all that shit kind of ties in.
Yes, math.
Yeah, how it all works together. So it's a perfect match. I'm going to try and see if I can get through it because it's got a glimmer of hope.
Okay.
But if I can get past the D&D shit, I did put in an interesting chronology of the Laundry Files from Charlie, and which I thought was it was interesting because the Laundry Files, the name was not something he chose,
right?
And he even says that it's not really kind of a series. It's like calling it the Laundry Files is kind of like calling Terry Pratchett's Discworld books the Unseen University series. Right. So that kind of explains why it's like, you and I are really good fans of the original books with Bob and that whole cast. And then he moves into something else. So it's like, okay, I really like the Night Watch books. And then it moves over into the Witches.
Yes,
except Terry Pratchett did it better.
I was about to say it would be if Terry Pratchett wrote the first 25 books about Unseen University and then all of a sudden switched.
Yeah. True. Good point.
I'm just saying.
The Dark Side. Ha! With Dave.
Welcome to The Dark Side with Dave. Podcast superhost Dave Bittner decodes all things cyber on the Cyberwire every day. Exposes deception with Joe Kerrigan on hacking humans. Dives deep into privacy with Ben Yellen on Caveat. Breaks down industrial cybersecurity on Control Loop. And even brings the chuckles on Only Malware in the Building. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Howdy do.
I'm okay.
That's good.
I'm okay. I
2025 treating you well so far?
Well, that's exactly it now, isn't it? It's been a gloomy week. We got snow on Monday, a significant amount for us, about 8 inches or so. And so now and it's been cold all week, so there's really been no melting. So now we're in the crusty, crunchy, icy phase of the snow, where it's no longer...
We call that Toronto.
Right? Yeah. It's no longer fun to look at. It's just a nuisance. And so it's been very cold and gray skies and all that kind of stuff. So it's been hard to have positive spirits and attitude. And of course, I'm concerned about you, Jason, and all my friends out in California who are dealing with this fire situation. So it's just been a kind of a somber week.
Yep.
Well, we're going to take over Greenland and Canada.
Woo!
Well, we got that going for us. Yeah. See,
Gulf
Brian,
of America.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Oh, good times.
Yeah. Well, why don't we start off by doing what we do best, which is talk about Star Wars. So, are we keeping up on Skeleton Crew? Because I am.
I have. I've ditched the attempt to get my son to watch it. He didn't seem too interested, so I might come back to that again later.
Okay.
As you may recall, I was a bit lukewarm on the series. Let me tell you what helped.
Yeah.
I spent 3 days at Disneyland over the break, and I wandered around the Star Wars land, and that rekindled my love of just how cheesy and silly Star Wars can and should be, and went back to the show with renewed vigor, and I'm just relaxing and enjoying it.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. And it's definitely gotten better. Like now that the plot has picked up a bit, we kind of know what's going on. There's a bit more action,
Right.
And we kind of know what the main thrust of the show is now. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah. One episode left, so we'll see how they wrap it up. But I too am enjoying it. Jason, have you kept up at all?
I have not watched anything except the first 10 minutes of episode 1.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yep,
You can look forward to it. It's not like you're busy right now doing anything else. So
You can spare one of your screens from the Fire app.
Silo, the Traders, and I didn't even mention Beast Games in Media Candy. I can't believe I didn't mention Beast Games. Oh my God, that is the greatest show on TV right now. What am I thinking? Oh, Beast Games, you got to watch that.
No.
Oh God, it is legit fun. It really is good. Highly recommended.
So one of the things I've been thinking about that I think contributes to my enjoyment of Skeleton Crew is that it has so little Star Wars universe baggage attached to it, right? Yep. So there aren't points along the way where I find myself going, well, that's not how a lightsaber works, or, well, that doesn't match up with this or that. I can be free to just enjoy this little world that it's its own little thing, and it's connected to all these things I love, and there's all these little things that rhyme and relate. And
it's kind of like how The Mandalorian began before they started to connect it to the wider lore everywhere.
Right.
Well, that's why I like Andor. Andor's the same.
Yeah. It also reminds me that I think one of the most powerful things that the Lucasfilm folks have is the sound effects library.
Oh, so good.
Right? Yeah. Because like when the kids jump on their little speeder bike scooters and they make sounds that are just close enough to the speeder bikes in Return of the Jedi,
but
it's
different.
Like hardwired into my brain to go, all right, well, I'm on board. Like that's all I need. There's no rational thought. It's just connects me to that universe.
Well, as a continuation of that, I would also say they've been masterful at finding composers and doing the scores. I mean, obviously you're starting with John Williams and you can't get any higher than that, but everybody that they've gotten for every one of the shows has just been fantastic.
Yeah, I say I had to warm up to The Mandalorian.
Yeah, because that was such a significant departure. I agree.
Yeah, but I did. I did not like it at first, but it grew on me, and I eventually liked it. What do you think, Jason?
As far as the sound effects go, which show had the Vespa gang in it? Was that the book?
That
of
was
Boba?
Mando. Wasn't that Mandalorian season 3 had the Vespa gang?
I believe
that's what I can't
so.
remember. Yeah, I think that might have been wherever the Vespa gang was. The sound effects could not save that by any stretch.
No, that was just a bit too silly.
Nobody has said that mistakes haven't been made.
Okay. Just making sure. I'm like, it goes a long way, but there's a limit, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and this crab creature evidently was stop motion animated by Phil Tippett, who did the walkers and lots of other stop motion stuff. So it's fun they can call back on that.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I thought they looked great. I did read a report saying that from everybody that did the stop motion animation on it, they said it was such a fucking bastard because it's covered in spikes and everybody kept hurting themselves doing it.
Oh yeah, did they I think they named the creature Tetanus because they were all worried they were going to get poked with rusty pieces.
I'm sorry, if you're doing stop motion animation nowadays and you have a job, that
be happy.
Beast should be called Deliverance. Come on. You can't complain if you got a job doing stop motion animation nowadays.
Which reminds me, have you guys seen the new Wallace and Gromit movie?
Mm-mm.
I have not. I
No.
was a big Wallace and Gromit fan, and I've got to get around to seeing it. I've heard it's quite good.
It is quite good. I mean, it's more of the same. And the conversation I had with my son Jack about it after we watched it was very funny in all the ways that Wallace and Gromit are. We wonder, though, if Wallace and Gromit are best suited to shorts rather than feature length.
Kind of like Kunk.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because this is feature length, and it works, but
it's a lot of the
and
same.
Wallace and Gromit are traditionally so tight, like they're so dense with the number of jokes, right? Just nonstop gags, and that's hard to sustain for an hour and a half. And I mean, they do a great job with it, but it's so definitely worth seeing. I recommend it, but it wasn't like. I guess part of it also is that the original 3 Wallace and Gromit shorts felt like each one just kept getting better and better and better and funnier. Mm-hmm. And this one is quite good and definitely worth seeing, but I didn't feel as though they topped themselves or made any new ground or anything like that. But all that said, it's definitely worth your time, and if you're a Wallace and Gromit fan, you won't be disappointed. It's pretty fun.
Well, in a little bit more Star Wars news, Ahsoka unfortunately lost Ray Stevenson last year, and they finally found a replacement, and it looks like it's going to be Rory McCann from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can totally see that, and I'm down with that. Both giant actor human men that I quite enjoyed on screen. So
listen, as a child in syndication, I survived the switches of Darren and Bewitched. I can handle.
True. Yes.
Yeah. Right. She had 2 Dicks, Dick Sargent and Dick York.
Oh, dear. They should have named one of the characters Sergeant York. It would have been great.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, I think this is pretty good recasting. Yeah, it works for me.
All right. We'll get that probably sometime in 2037.
If we're still here.
If we're still here. Yes.
Right. But yeah, so one more thing before we wrap up with Skeleton Crew. That's another thing we were talking about is like, I haven't heard any announcements of there being another season. Presumably the show is a hit. It seems like it's being well reviewed.
Not if you go on Not if you go on X.
Oh, really?
It's more of that woke bullshit. People are tired of it. Worst ratings ever, according to people on X.
Yeah. I see. Meanwhile, back in the real world, one of the issues, though, and I think this is the same thing that Stranger Things ran into, is when
kids grow up.
Right. And when you do a season every 4 or 5 years, you know, it's you miss out on the chance for these kids, and that could happen with Skeleton Crew.
I think we're going to get a good idea on the season finale. Like, if they wrap it up pretty concisely, I think we're going to know that's that.
Right.
And I don't recall, like, this is just me, like, fucking, like, there's a couple neurons firing in the back of my brain right now going that this was only ever going to be a limited series. It was never going to be an ongoing thing, but I could be wrong about that.
Well, I'm fine with that. You know, I'd say I'm quite pleased.
Yeah, I mean, just it's not safe to get attached to anything after The Acolyte. You know, it's
true.
That was a hit. Everybody loved that, and they just said, "Nah, we're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, too expensive."
Yep. Yeah, just ask Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. They got,
gosh.
you know.
Yeah.
There's no safety anywhere. Well, I put this in here because this is just kind of unfortunately near and dear to the segment. Siri unintentionally recorded private conversations, and Apple agrees to pay $95 million. And still can't, my fucking phone is turning on when I said the name of the thing.
Yeah, this is a zombie story, right? This is the original zombie story. Like, it won't go away. Yeah. It's dead and it won't go away.
Well, $95 million is going to make it go away, it seems.
Yeah.
So, Yeah. They're saying that they never really used it for any shopping, like integration or anything like that. It was just sometimes recording people. But I think that they're sick of it too. And they're like, okay, we'll give you $95 million if you'll just shut up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And $95 million for Apple is literally like a penny I found in my pocket from 1972.
Right.
Yeah. It's about 7 seconds worth of revenue. So.
Right. And the waiting area for Tim Cook's office in the couch cushions, they're $95 million. The thing that annoys me about this is right after this settlement was announced, I saw endless people on social media who should know better saying that this was proof, I tell you, that our phones are listening to us, that, Apple wouldn't settle if this weren't the truth and blah, 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 blah. And it's not, again, reiterate, there has been no research that has shown that our phones are listening to us. There's none. No legitimate
not
research.
A1. Yeah.
No. And what Apple is saying here is that they occasionally recorded things unintentionally because Siri has to be listening, and they sent it for their own kind of tech support's not the right word for it. Quality control, I guess.
Yeah, quality control. Yeah.
And that's where things accidentally got recorded and sent along. But at no point did Apple ever sell anything to any ad network or anything like that.
Yes.
But
that's
what people are saying they're doing, and I'm just done with it.
Well, it's because, it doesn't help that we had that shady advertising company that actually put it up on their website as something that they could do. Remember that? I can't remember the name of the company right now, but,
The thing about that, that was so long after the whole original thing had already been put to bed. We'd had like 3 resuscitations of it at that point, and then there was just one company that did one thing, and then it just comes back. And that was like, that wasn't that long. It was like 8 months ago.
Right.
This has been going on since 2014. So.
Right. And that company, it seemed like it was just BS. Like they were just kind of
they totally walked it back.
bragging. Yeah, but it wasn't an actual capability. So
I asked ChatGPT on the math on how long it would take Apple to make $90 million, and it would take 130 minutes. So,
all right.
2 hours and 10 minutes to make $95 million.
Good gig if you can get it.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Roughly 0.09 days. Okay.
Wow. Well, in other news, before I let you go, a couple things I wanted to touch on here. I'm taking another ham radio exam this weekend.
How many of these are there? Who can you talk to now?
There are 3.
Aliens?
Yeah. Okay. Well, who's to say I don't talk to aliens every day already?
True. All right. Fair.
There are drones flying all over the place here on the East Coast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there are 3 levels. There are currently 3 levels of amateur radio license in the United States. There's the technician, which is what I have. So Jason, there's the technician, which is what I have. There's the general, which is what I'm getting. And then there's the extra, which who knows if I'll get that. So basically what this does is it opens up the world to me. Right now, I have the ability to talk to people probably within like 100-mile radius of where I am. Mm-hmm. And if I pass this, I get frequencies opened up to me that allow me to talk to people all over the world.
One has to ask, are there ham police?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yes.
We can't get internet police, but we got ham police.
We got ham police.
Obviously there's the FCC, which is the ultimate.
Or is this more like
police.
Community notes?
Yes, and the FCC are the ham police, and I don't know if you guys saw there was a story this week where an amateur radio operator got fined, I think $34,000 for.
You're going to find this shocking, Dave, but I don't have ham radio in my Google alerts.
Well, this showed up in other places because it actually showed up because this jackass was interfering with firefighters. Like last time there was a fire in California, he was on their frequencies trying to tell them where they needed to be, and the FCC was like, "Oh,"
and his name was Jason.
No. Yeah. So, yes, mostly amateur radio is self-policed, but if it gets bad enough, they will gang up on you and report you to the FCC.
Khan gets parachuted in. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's just as geeky as you'd think it would be. I talked about fox hunts before, where if you're a bad actor, they will take their directional antennas rather, and they will find you.
Right.
So, Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Wish me luck. I'm currently, polling at about 95% on my practice tests. So I'm not.
It feels like a pass to me.
Yeah, I'm not anticipating any issues, but you never know. It's the roll of the dice or the questions that you get on the exam. But after that, it also means that the hobby is going to get much more expensive for me because the radio I need to buy,
equipment, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's an opportunity to buy new toys.
That's right.
It's a mixed blessing. So wish me luck. Two other things I wanted to touch on. This snowstorm that we had here got me thinking nostalgically about sledding. Mm-hmm. Brian, I probably already know the answer to this question for you since we all knew where you grew up. But I'm curious, Jason, how much of your childhood was sledding a part of in snowstorms?
Huge part of my childhood. I remember I was born in Pennsylvania.
Right.
So we had hills and we had snow.
Yeah. Brian, none for you?
Some. I mean, as you know, from California, it's just an hour or two drive up into the mountains, Big Bear and all that.
The Matterhorn doesn't count.
I did try to sled down the Matterhorn once. I was banned from Disneyland for 3 weeks. No, there was some sledding. We would go up maybe once every other year or so to Big Bear and kind of do that sort of thing. So I did a bit of that. It's more of my life now, obviously, as we have a park nearby, and if we get a good snow, I take the kid and I go down myself as well. So
yeah. The thing I'm remembering in Jason is, a big snowstorm would roll in, neighborhood would be pretty much shut down, and we would all gather up at whichever kid had the house nearest the best hill.
Yep,
and sometimes those were roads. A snowy, icy road on a steep hill. We would all gather up with our sleds and certainly early on, mostly they were like flexible flyers, the old big metal and wooden sleds with the steel runners.
Those are the best.
Were they though? Were they?
No, but they were. Here's the thing. We had two separate tracks at my grandfather's house because he had a giant hill in the back.
Yeah.
And that was the gathering spot for the whole neighborhood. So
right.
There were multiple tracks. Some were for the toboggans, like, the
right.
plastic, just basic sheets that you had to unroll and you could never get to lay flat. And
yes.
Always go everywhere. That was just for the regular snow. That was for the noobs. What the ice track, as we called it, was basically my dad and other older folks in the neighborhood would take a 55-gallon drum, put a fire inside of it, and carry it up the hill to melt the snow to make a track basically made for death through the forest. Through the forest up to the top of the hill, and then we would use those types of sleds to go down and try and not Sonny Bono our way out of it. So
yes,
it was adventurous and it was awesome. And we didn't have helmets back then.
No, and you're going head first,
shoes and gloves. Right. Yeah, it was totally head first.
You're head first. You're running as fast as you can, leaping onto the sled as you head down the hill. I remember we built jumps for the sleds.
Absolutely.
One of them, I remember, there was a jump, and not far after the landing zone for the jump, you had to make the tightest right turn possible on the sled, or else you would go headfirst into a chain link fence. And this was just fun. And we because the other thing too is that we'd go into the night, and so when the sun went down and things iced up, and we were all together. It was just a wonderful thing. And I like those types of sleds are gone,
really?
Well, I don't see kids. I have a couple of them in my attic, that are the ones from my childhood. But everything today are the plastic formed sort of toboggan type things. And also
toboggan
tubes. People will sit on the inflatable, like the donut inflatable things, and go down hills with those. But
it's generally frowned upon to have like sharp pointed metal on any objects flying around with a bunch of kids these days. Yeah. So a bunch of soft kids. Nobody ghost rides their bikes anymore. Everybody's a pussy.
Very few stitches.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're not really steerable the way that those.
Oh no!
were.
No,
so
you just go. Yeah.
Because part of the fun too,
they had the bar that you could turn, and we, you're supposed to sit with your feet on the bar and use that to kind of turn with your feet.
Right.
And I don't know anybody that did that.
No, because you're not like on a speeder bike then.
No,
you use your hands. Yeah, you used your hands.
Right.
This was before Star Wars, man.
Right. Head first.
Long before. Yeah, head first, and you use your hands and you lean and do that stuff. Because that's how you do it.
Right.
But
see, I don't know. We just have these things called slip and slides.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing with the sleds,
nobody tells the kids the first time that they use a slip and slide that it's not padded after they've broken their sternum.
No, one of my neighbors broke her leg on our slip and slide.
Yeah, my shit was dangerous too, man.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're throwing jarts at the same time.
Kids these days, I tell you.
The flexible flyers, I remember there were two versions of that we had. We had a long one that was probably 5 feet long. And that's the one that you went down, like two people would go down together on. So if you had to bring your little brother with you, which I did sometimes, you go down the hill and that's what you do. But then we had short ones that were the ones that were built for speed. And that's what we used on the tracks to jump and to race. And so that's another thing that I think they've kind of lost because the current sleds aren't steerable. If you go down a long hill and you're racing each other, part of the racing was the demolition derby component of crashing into each other, of steering into each other, trying to run each other off of the path, basically trying to kill each other, push each other off of your sleds, whatever it takes to win the race. So we don't really have that so much anymore either. It's safer and all that kind of stuff, but it seems like a
lost art.
It is. It was just a different paradigm for sledding. And now it's the old thing too of, our parents would just send us out into the wilderness and say,
yes,
come home when the street lights come on. And
there was no supervision. Yes.
Right.
As opposed to now where there are more parents at the park than kids watching the kids sled. So yes.
Right. Exactly.
It's funny. I just put in a link to the old flexible flyer with the metal runners. You have to dig kind of deep on Amazon to find them, but they still have them.
Yeah. No, I have one of those. I have two of those in my attic that are probably from the 1940s, and they look exactly like. Yeah,
the design has not changed.
No. I'm guessing the one I have in my attic probably weighs twice as much as the one that's on Amazon right now.
Probably.
Yeah. Right? But I don't know why I'm hanging on to them. I'm hoping like somebody from a Bennigan's is going to reach out that they need to decorate the restaurant, and they're going to need a sled to put on the wall, right?
Well, what you could do is you could find a Klingon cosplayer who could kind of deconstruct it into a batleth and use it that way. It's got all the composite parts for it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen or thought about Bennigan's in like 30 years. I'm looking at their menu online right now. It's good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, one thing I'm going to leave in the show notes for folks if they're interested. I can't remember if I ever shared my President Carter story here on the show, but I have an interesting story about President Carter, who, of course, passed away recently. I did cross paths with him when I was just a youngster, and I had the opportunity to tell that story at a local storytelling event, and somebody videotaped it, so it's on YouTube. And I think,
oh, cool.
Yeah, if you want to check it out, it is a fun story. It's another one of those different time, kind of had to be there stories. So if you're interested in hearing how I cross paths with the good President Carter, we'll have a link to that in the show notes.
Yeah, it's a fun story. I did listen to it. And Dave, I am going to subscribe right now to bring your subscriber count on YouTube up from 2 to 3.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So up by 33%. Those are good numbers. Mm-hmm. I'll take it. All right. Well, Jason, stay safe, please.
I'll do my best.
Keep in touch. Let us know.
Next week, this might be coming from the back of my Jeep, but there will be a show next week.
All right.
I have the technology.
All right. Good enough.
All right, guys. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully.
Yep.
Closing shout outs.
Over at Patreon, we've got Michael, Malty Sweetness, and Am, or AM. Not sure how to go with that one. And we got a nice big bump from Murray Jack. And from the laundry file legacies, Dan, More Cowbell, Philip, Kira, Azam, Nate, William, Seth, Stewart, and Martin. Thank you all so much for being Patreon subscribers. And just a reminder, you can sign up at Patreon for just $3 a month to get the show early, ad-free, and in high definition. And if you want to pay for the whole year in advance, you get a discount. Woo!
Yay. And over at PayPal, we've got donations from Joseph, Jens, David, Judge, Charlie, Florian, Jonathan, Levi, Ralph, Nicola, Thomas, and Simon. Thank you all so much.
Over the tip jar, we've got Ross, Eric, Slobodan, Adam, Matthew, Sarah, and Marcel with the big $30, and Michael J with the big $60. Woo! Thank you, everybody. And some people who got some good merch this time, Jody, Chris, and Casey, who even sent us a picture of the hoodie. Woohoo!
Yeah, looking good.
That's over at shop.gog.show if you want to get some goodies. And someday Brian will make that visibility set to 0 shirt, and someday I'll make that shocking shirt. And
I got to get in there and figure out all the logins, and I'll get around to it. We got a new 5-star review. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Wish you the best. That hasn't aged well.
It does not at all. It is not at all.
Until next time, I'm Brian Schulmeister.
10 fucking days in.
I want a refund.
Mulligan. And I'm Jason DeFilippo. Thanks for listening to Grumpy Old Geeks. To get all the links and goodies from today's episode, go to gog.show/679. Want to keep the grumpiness alive? Toss us a few bucks our way at gog.show/donate. Every penny helps to keep the show on the air. Do you love the show? Well, share it. There's a share button in your podcast player. Use it to spread the grumpiness to friends, foes, and everyone in between, and we'll love you for it. Swing by gog.show to join our Discord and chat with us and other show fans. Got thoughts, feedback, cool links? Well, hit us up at gog.show/contact. And hey, don't forget to leave a 5-star review at gog.show/review, and we'll read it on the air. Oh, and guess what? We've got GOG merch. Snag your grumpy gear now at shop.gog.show. Stay grumpy, and preferably non-flammable.